because I know you really want to talk about this, let's talk about signs of a controlling parent, shall we? True or false, Laban is a case study in a controlling parent. Absolutely. Rebecca was a case study in a controlling parent. Okay, here's a little list. 10 signs of controlling parents of adult children. Number 1, interfering in everything. Doesn't matter how old you are or what you're doing. They're like, well, you didn't run that by me. You didn't tell me. You didn't ask me. Hey, I think that's a good idea. How's your sex life? How much money you guys make? You're like, hey, there's a difference between secrecy and privacy. Once you're an adult, privacy is, it's none of your business unless we choose to tell you, right? Use of manipulation tactics. This can be money. Well, I'm going to give you money, but you got to do with it what I tell you to do. This can be guilt. We loved you. We tried so hard. We sacrificed everything. You owe us. You don't even care. You made your mom depressed. And sometimes guilt. Well, the other kids don't have a problem. I did this for my parents. What's wrong with you? Conditional love. You do what they say, yay, blessing. You don't do what they say, nay, cursing. Let me tell you this, conditional love is not love. It's not. It's not. This is, if I win and you lose, I'm going to be good to you. If I don't get what I want, I'm going to hurt you. And I'm going to make you feel guilty for being abused. Demanding obedience, not out of relationship, love, self-interest. It is harsh control, demanding. And what happened, I literally, one of the weirdest counseling sessions I ever had, there was a dude who was like in his 50s and his parents were in their 70s and they called me in for counseling. I was like in my 20s. I'm like, what am I here? And literally the parents pulled out you need to obey your mother and father. I was like, that verse is for little kids. This guy's collecting Social Security. He's officially launched. Golly. Harsh punishment that do not align with the offense. Because the point is this, it's not about helping you learn and grow, it's about controlling you. So if you say or do anything that they don't agree with, the hammer is going to drop very quickly to get you back in line. Lack of empathy and respect. You know you've got this with an adult child and a parent when the parent says, well, how do you think this makes me feel? Do you understand what this does to me? What do you think I want? What do you think I need? How do you think others look at me now? And it's always about the parent. Let me say this, when your kids grow up, if you're a parent, it's not about you. You're never asking, well, what was it like to be my kid? What is it like to be my kid? Lack of appreciation for individuality. Where in our family, this is how we do it. Get in line. This is how our family's always done it. You got to look like this. You got to act like that. You got to do this. You got to do that. Sometimes even in a religious home, it's not just you got to go to church. You got to go to this denomination. You got to go to that church. You got to go to our church. No appreciation, no individuality, because they can't distinguish between individuality and rebellion. There's a big difference between you being who God made you to be and you rebelling, but they can't tell the difference. Eliminating or providing little privacy. Hey, can we have a key to your house? Hey, we need to have access to your banking app. We need to know what's going on. What's your schedule? What's your budget? How's your sex life? What's going on? We need to know. You guys didn't tell us. It's like, well, it's because we're not married to you. Criticizing or having unsolicited opinions about independent choices. Adult children get to make decisions, and if you love them and have wisdom and build a relationship with them, they may ask your opinion. And they may not. And what happens is, if you're not involved in the decision-making process, then the over-controlling parent comes in and they're like, well, you didn't ask me. I didn't even get to speak into this. I didn't get to talk. Hey, what about me? I disagree. You got to change that decision. You got to do what I tell. It's like, I'm not 6. Okay? And unattainable or perfectionistic standards. It's this works relationship. It's like, it's exhausting. So, you just feel it in the room. You're welcome. You're all blessed to be here. I can just feel that. So what happens is there's only 3 kinds of relationships: healthy, unhealthy, and no relationship. Those are 3 options. If you have a domineering, overbearing, high controlling parent, can you have a healthy relationship? No, because a healthy relationship takes two people working on a healthy relationship. And if that's not what they're working on, you can't have a healthy relationship with an unhealthy person. So now you got two options. Unhealthy relationship, no relationship. Okay? Now, if you're the parent, I've got, again, 5 kids. And I'm not saying I've done this right. Somebody's like, how does he have such insight? Through all of his errors. That's how he has insight. Nobody raises 5 kids, wakes up, looks in the mirror, is like, nailed it. No one who's sober or even drives by reality can come to that conclusion. Okay? But if we are a parent, it's got to be going to the adult child and saying, I want to have a healthy relationship. So first and foremost, what are the things that I've said or done that were not healthy and helpful? And don't get defensive. Okay? Defensive is not a fruit of the Spirit. It's not love, joy, defensive, controlling, manipulating. It's not in there. And as a parent, you can always go, well, I was stressed at work. I had a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Don't just, you know what? You're right. I accept that as truth and reality. Okay? So let me apologize for the things that were unhealthy. And let me ask you going forward, how can we have a healthy relationship? Okay? And let me say this. Parents don't need to be perfect, but it's really helpful to their children when the parents are the one who say that they weren't perfect. Okay? If you go to your kid and you want a healthy relationship, you're giving them an option. If you're unhealthy, you don't give them an option. What happens then is most people that have an unhealthy adult relationship with a parent, they have an unhealthy relationship as long as they possibly can. Then you add kids, more obligations, more duties, more jacked up relationships, more trauma and drama. Then the extended family gets involved because here what happened is they've got a bad, broken marriage and family, so then they tap in the extended family. All they do is just add more clowns to the clown car. That's all they do. And the circus just gets louder. And at some point then, the adult children come to the conclusion, we can't have healthy, we can no longer tolerate unhealthy. You've given us no choice but no relationship. There's a whole book called Boundaries, and everybody bought it and bought a second copy for their parents. I mean, that's just where we are. And it's like, you know what? We're moving. We're moving to another state. You cannot have a key to our house. We changed the locks. No, we're not going on vacation together. We changed our cell phone number, and the parents are like, it seems like you're ignoring me. 100%. Exactly what we're trying to do is get some distance. Because once you grow up and become an adult and you get married, you have your family, they have their family. Their family no longer gets to control your family. You've got to love each other and figure it out. How do we have two families that work together in a healthy way? And what you're going to see, spoiler alert, for both of you that come back, it's going to be life-changing, but they have an unhealthy relationship for 14 years, and eventually what happens? No relationship. They're done, right? This family is like, we're done. We're done.